My husband was a private investigator, and I worked with him on a lot of different jobs, which also was extremely boring. It's not as glamorous as you think, although we did have several interesting things that happened. The last job I did was, now this was an interesting one. We had to repossess a guy that was known mafia out on Long Island, and my husband was out of town, and this was a big job. It was 2 cars, and each car would have given us $1,000 each. So we had other guys that would work with us because I couldn't go out all the time. So I got one of the guys and said, we're going to do this. And we got to the house. It was lit up like Times Square. He had floodlights all over the place, lit up. So we go, okay, we're going to wait a while. Well, we got on the ground. We parked our cars about 5 blocks away. We walked up. We had to crawl on the ground. We had the keys. He was in the front car. I was in the back car. We got into the car. We let the cars roll down, and they rolled down like this. He starts to drive off, and my car won't start, and I'm stuck there. I think it was because I got very nervous. It was known mafia, and we got the car. I got the car started, and we drove off, and then we drove to you always had to go. The new law passed at that time that you had to go right to the nearest police department and notify them and fill out paperwork. And that was the very last thing I did as a private investigator. And let me tell you, after that, I was very happy to hang it up. That was life. And I decided I always wanted to be in the medical field, so I became a phlebotomist, which was also very interesting. I love interesting jobs. I was never the kind of person that would sit in an office and 9 to 5. Phlebotomist, I started to work for Long Island Blood Services. And that was a great job because we traveled, we did blood drives. We would travel anywhere from Montauk into Queens. So every day I was in a different spot meeting all kinds of wonderful people because donors are wonderful people. You know, nasty, mean people don't go to give their blood. Good, happy people go and give their blood. And, it was just the different people every day. There were about 200 of us, so you worked with somebody different every single day. I had a basketball side. I don't know who his name was. I know he was important because he had that big ring on when they win the tournament. This guy, now I'm only 5'2". I was 5'2" and a half at that time. I've shrunk to 5'1.9". I just found that out. And this guy had to be 6'6", and now we had to walk the people out and hold them because sometimes people, when you lose blood quickly, your blood pressure goes down, and that's when you're going to pass out, get sick. And I looked up at this guy, and I'm walking like this, and he says, okay, little one. He says, what happens if I fall? And I said, honey, I'm going to let you go. Because he's going to fall on top of me. I do feel that the youth of this world is missing out on so much. You know, I wouldn't even think, if I had a kid today, I wouldn't even think about letting them just go out and play. When I was a kid, my parents, you would have your chores, do your chores, get your homework done. Saturday, get out, don't come till it's dark or supper time. There was no fear about anything. And we went off to the woods. We had a swimming hole. This was in Merrick. There was an old swimming hole, Meadowbrook River. Now it's Meadowbrook Parkway. And we would go to the swimming hole. We would play in the woods. The boys would have the wars against the girls. We'd build forts. It was just, and parents didn't expect you home till it got dark. But you better be home by dark. That's about it.